So, hello.
Hello.
It's 10/13/2021. I'm here with Livia and Sandy. And we're here for the Have It to Hold for the BE collection. So thank you for being a part of this.
You're welcome. Thank you for doing what you're doing.
Oh, thank you. So how long have you been together?
Well, we just looked in the front room up here. I was
going to ask that question.
Yeah, I got an award from PFLAG in 2005 on April the 23rd. So that's when I met her.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
that's good. What was the award?
It's called Friends of the Children Award. It was because of activism in the community. Yeah. And that's kind of the reason that we're together.
Still.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because you talk.
No, my aunt gave me a call and said that my cousin had somebody they wanted me to meet. And so this was an awards thing where Livia was going to be. But pretty much my aunt gave me the heads up, although it was supposed to be a surprise. And because it was a surprise from my cousin Debbie.
I didn't know about it.
Yeah. So, so I grabbed a friend of mine. I said, "Hey, you want to come with me to this awards event?" And because there's somebody my cousin wants me to meet. So that's how I went, and that's how I met Livia for the first time. Even though she wasn't aware of the potential setup.
No.
It worked.
I did.
Yeah, and I really thought she was really nice and friendly and genuine, and those qualities are not always that easy to come by anymore. So it was yeah.
So after that meeting, it was obvious that your family supported your sexuality and your finding a good person.
And Uncle Sal, they were very supportive.
That's great.
All my cousins.
Yeah, wonderful. Do you have any?
It made it even more special because her cousin Debbie. See, the activism I did was part of her cousin's former husband was the chief of police where I lived, and that's how I met her cousin. And I met her cousin before her. And so because of that connection with community activism, we managed to get together. Yeah.
It's a big support for community activism.
Yeah, I think so. For the LGBTQ community. So
Very good. So then after that, you went out, obviously, and
it took a while.
Yeah, I was a little slow to call. I waited quite a while, and then
until September.
Yeah.
That's quite a while.
Well, the reason I had been out of a relationship for almost 2.5, almost 3 years, actually. So I figured she was the one that had less time in between relationships. So it was, if she felt the need to call me back.
Yeah, I took some encouragement by friends because I had really not called a lot of people, and so then she called. We went out, and the next day I called her, and she sounded so bored on the phone. I thought, oh my God, I read the signals wrong. And now I know she was just sleepy because it was after lunch. And I remember too, after, I could tell that Livia was like, oh my God, what's wrong with this woman? And when I hung up, I'm like so mad at myself because I was so, so kind of blah,
Right. You were tired.
I just really like to talk on the phone. So.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then I don't know what happened after that. I called you back, maybe.
I think
I called her back. Maybe.
Obviously, you did something that connected.
Yeah. Well, actually, it was her. Our first date was at the Newark. It's called Newark Days Parade, and PFLAG and the LGBT community had a float.
When did I go to the play that you were in?
Oh yeah, and then I was playing. I was involved in community theater again because of the activism that I'd gotten involved in. I met the woman who was the two women that were in community theater in Newark. And so I invited her to go to the closing show of The Music Man. And
that in September, was that my
that was
birthday?
her birthday.
Yeah, September
and,
25th.
Yeah, and so she ended up helping people clean up and strike the set and stuff. So it, she was a keeper.
She works. I'll keep her.
Yeah.
And then when did you move in together?
Not for a while.
Not for a while.
Yeah.
Let me introduce you to Marge, both of you. I don't know that you met her on your individual interviews.
Marge.
Maybe briefly.
Yeah, briefly. Hi.
She's a keeper also.
Yeah, we hang on to each other tightly.
How long have you guys been together?
43 years.
Oh, wow. That's
So if you think that we're recording the past to inspire the future,
yeah.
Would you advise involvement in community activism is a good place to meet people?
I think a good place the reason I did that is because it felt the right thing to do. I think you have to do what you love doing or what calls you, and then you meet people like you.
Mm-hmm.
You have a cousin who sets you up.
Right. The whole family set you
Also
up.
involved with it, and then it kind of all happens. But if you're doing something, for me, I was doing something that was important to me. So that's how I met her.
Yeah. I always thought that if you want to meet people, you should be doing something that you like, so that when you meet somebody, they're doing something they like.
Similar, right. That's a good point, right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Although
good.
I'm probably more of an activist than her, but she did join me in theater, and we did several years of community theater together.
But I was more the behind the scenes, like building sets or spotlights, or I've done soundboard. I was
Stage manager.
one time.
Yeah, and so I've acted and played the piano for rehearsals and stuff. And we've done the Laramie Project, the story of Matthew Shepard. She was stage manager.
Wow.
And I played, oh gosh, Barb would kill me. What's her name? I played a professor in the college there in Laramie. So
How about when you were teaching? Did you bring it to your classroom?
Yeah. You
What's
came
that?
to my classroom, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they knew.
Good. I'm going to tell a little story. Last night, there's a local LA news called Spectrum.
Okay.
And we listen to it periodically. Well, this woman was doing an interview of a young woman who looked to be a lesbian and later said, I am a lesbian. She started this thing called Mary's, MIRY' list. And she started family by family responding to the immigrant situation as people are coming into the country and helping them.
Oh, wow.
So volunteer organization, it's huge now. But I thought, it's a woman. The rest of us say, oh my God, that's such a terrible situation. Blah, blah. She's doing something about it, one family at a time. And I was inspired by it. And I can see you have that about you.
I think we both do.
Right.
Yeah, I think
She's online. And the other thing was she lives close to us. She showed her backyard full of all these boxes and diapers and food and people, just helping other people.
Yeah.
But,
And the immigrants, especially Afghan immigrants now really.
That's right. Her stories are there. This was a long interview, but the fact that instead of saying, no, ain't it awful, she did something about it.
Yeah.
I think women do that. I know they do.
Yeah, well, when you take action, then things change and you can create, I think, that change within your own life so things don't feel so overwhelming. At least that was the case for me.
Right.
Then you feel that you have a stake in it, other than just feeling awful about the way things are moving on.
I know. We could say, ain't it awful? It stays awful.
Yeah. So that's what you guys are doing here. And after getting over my first initial feeling of being scared to be interviewed, I had to put Tony down. It's a good thing you're doing, because regardless of we're married, but there's still so much that's needs to be done for equal rights for our community and our families.
Well, we're a part of that. I mean, the collection is growing. And
Yeah.
it's only growing because of people like you. You say, well, okay, I can do this. And then you say to your friend, well, why don't you try this? See my interview.
Mhm.
And people are still afraid of being exposed. I can tell that.
Yeah, I think so.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's why we only do women over 30. Because I'm concerned about if someone under 30 is still seeking their career path, as maybe this could jeopardize them somewhere.
Well, it's yeah, you gotta be comfortable. I'm glad that we both feel comfortable enough to speak about it because,
Me too.
yeah. I mean, when we got married,
When did you get married?
November 3rd. We never remember the date, but it was November 3rd, November 2008.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay,
It was,
that was the year.
the first
Legal,
thing.
right. Mhm.
And what was kind of neat is when we were over in the city, I called my aunt and uncle, and they were like so happy for us, but so disappointed we didn't let them know ahead of time.
I
because they
bet.
would come with us to be there.
Yeah.
And then what was really neat was when we came back into our town, on the corner was our daughter Erin and all their friends supporting No on 8.
Mhm.
And so we went through, we honked at them and they waved at us. And
Mhm.
so,
That's great.
Yeah, that was because there was another faction on the other side of the road that was wanting yes on Prop 8. Is that right? Say no on Prop 8 is what we wanted. So we got married the last day. We got, I think our appointment to get married was at 5:26 p.m. the night that Obama was getting elected. The night yeah. So we got in right under the line.
Who married you?
Some gay guy at San Francisco City Hall. I don't remember his, but they kept San Francisco City Hall open till midnight that night, so that as many people as wanted to, straight, gay, bisexual, whatever, could get married.
I actually have talked to other people who got married that same day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's fun. I'll try to think of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a very big thing, very emotional. I was surprised when I applied.
Mhm.
I took first of all, I went to the City Hall in Santa Maria, and where we were living at the time, and the woman had to take my information, and she took my name, and she said, the person you're going to marry, and I said, Margaret, and she said, what?
Really?
Oh, Margaret, yes. Oh, I'm sure it was her first experience with that, so she wrote it down. Then I took everything out to the car, and I sat down, and the tears just came.
I bet.
I didn't know how important it was to me because I felt very married. I didn't need a ceremony or something legal, but I did. It means a lot. I think we should have the same rights as everybody.
I do.
Yeah.
I did feel different. I mean,
I was surprised.
yeah, I was surprised because I wasn't sure that, I mean, we've been married to men, so it was a strange decision to take, what, for me at least, I don't know about Sandy, but to take the path of straight people and to claim that.
Be part of everyone.
Be part of everyone, yeah. So, but it does feel different. There's a level of commitment that I didn't expect from it.
I agree with that. And yet some people I haven't married because of their prior marriages to men or other people, actually, in financial things with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how long were you both in heterosexual marriages?
I think I was married, I think 7 or 8 years.
Yeah. Same here.
How old were you when you entered into those?
Too young.
I think I was 23.
I was around that same age. I don't remember. 24. Too young to get it at the time. So
Yes, but you thought you should be doing that.
I thought I should be doing
Yeah.
that.
There's so much even now. there's all these bridal fairs. I mean, it's a very big,
It is. It's an industry, and I'm in a writing group with some women, and so I'm working on a piece of my life that is talking about the culture around me growing up and how that really kept me prisoner or in a fog of that heterosexuality is the only way to be. And in reality, I think we're probably all bisexual. And I know that's controversial to say, and that we're just somewhere on the spectrum. But I'm glad to be in a relationship with Sandy.
the old one.
The old ball and chain.
How do you feel about that, Sandy? Pretty good? Good. Good. I can see that. He's not going to let you go, so you are who you are. Right?
No, we're stuck like Velcro to each other with all the animals we've had. And
So do you have dreams together?
No,
No?
I don't. Oh, what do you mean?
Like your future, something that you're work towards?
Well, probably, well,
Oh,
I think right now we have an RV and we want to travel
yeah.
and hit a bunch of the national parks and stuff.
Mhm.
We're kind of limited with the animals right now, so we
With
just do
traveling,
with
yeah.
how far we travel, and if we travel, one of us sometimes has to stay home while the other one goes on the longer time.
Mhm.
So we take camping trips,
Yeah.
which we're taking next week, that are short, and we take Tony with us, but then our neighbor takes care of the cat.
So what's been magical about your relationship?
Well, I think we complement each other.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think you're right.
She doesn't know. I do, because I think she's really friendly and outgoing, and she brings people around, and she brings people into my life. So, because I'm not that way.
Really? You seem very friendly.
I think I'm friendly, but I'm shyer than she is. So I think we
That could
complement
be.
each other. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think complimenting the relationship is good, and to reinforce it, to say to the other person, I don't do it enough, but
You don't do what enough?
compliment, to say how we complement each other, because that's what makes it work, makes that relationship work, the balance.
Well, I think so. And I think we like each other most of the time.
No, we do.
Most of the time, that's right.
I think liking is very important.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
She-
Why do you think it's important?
It is. I mean, I think we drive each other crazy sometimes, but I wouldn't want to be with anybody else. So,
Right.
yeah.
That's a big commitment. And
Right.
the third thing is, well,
Whatever you say.
whatever you say, just agree with me, right? That you're, that's called complimenting each other.
Yeah, it is. I mean, and we do. We're different in ways that make it work, and the same in ways I think
Yeah.
that.
And I think because we're different and we have different things that we like to do,
Mhm.
we allow each other to do that.
Oh, that's the other thing. Yeah,
Which
we're
is
both
nice.
independent. Tony wanted to be part of the joy.
Critical moment.
If you're having such a good time, I better get up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I like to play golf. I like to go up to the mountains more than Livia does.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so I go do that, and then she does the things she wants to do while I'm gone.
Yeah,
That's good, because I think space is important too.
Yeah.
it is. It's very.
Yeah. Doesn't mean a lack of commitment or that you don't love each other. You need your individual space to center yourself.
We're both pretty independent women, so
Mhm.
that would be crazy not to honor that, right, Tony? He's so sure about that.
Yeah. No, someone dumped him at the park, and I told her to bring food and a bed down to where I worked. And when I came home, he came with me.
Really? Surprise. So what advice would you give people who want to get into a serious to have and to hold relationship?
Well, I think you have to have some things that you like to do that you can share.
Mhm.
Like I said, you got to be able to give each other space
Mhm.
and do the best you can at keeping open communication. Yeah.
How do you do that?
It's
How
hard.
do, how do the two of you do that? It's tough, as I just said.
Because I'm not a big talker like that. And sometimes I'll want to say something, but I won't. And
Yeah.
then finally I'll say it.
Yeah.
But
It's hard.
It is hard.
It's hard. It's hard to be honest and loving, I think,
Mhm.
but we're not always gonna agree.
No,
We have to learn to talk to each other. And it's not been easy for me.
Mhm. It's not easy for any of us.
No, I mean, and to merge, I think communication and laughing. Even, sometimes we'll have an argument and she starts laughing at me.
And then she gets mad that I'm laughing.
Right, that's funny.
And then Tony looks at us, so and you have to be able to forgive. I think forgive and go on and start over.
Even though in your heart, you were right. You just don't say it.
But that's it. Sometimes, what's more important, because right's not going to get you where you want to be.
Yeah.
Always.
Probably got you into the disagreement in the first place.
Yeah. So laughing, going camping, getting out in nature, having animals.
So when was the first time you said I love you to each other?
Wow.
I don't know.
No big scroll or anything?
I don't remember. I knew we were close though. It worked pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We lesbians have so many anniversaries. When we met, when we said I love you, when we moved in. We have a lot of things to celebrate.
I think for us, our anniversary was when we got married, but also we really remember meeting each other for the first time at the P-Flag Awards and then going on our first date.
Yeah, those times I really, really liked her. I think at first, as I said, she was open and friendly and just genuine.
And I think for me, when I first met Livia, besides being really cute, she had little short, spiky hair.
Yeah.
But she got up and presented an award. And she also played the piano with them, with the band and stuff. And I was really impressed because I'd really never met anyone like that before.
It was so talented.
Yeah.
But see, she's talented in other ways. She has a tool for everything. She can do anything.
What's something about the other person that you haven't told them that you really cherish? A quality or something they did besides bringing ice cream?
Well, I think for me with Livia was when she was still teaching, and she taught 40 plus years. And every time she got up and got ready for work, you would think it was her first day of work.
Wonderful.
Yeah, she got herself ready, and it was like she would just come alive and off to school. And I always just pictured her giving her kids like 100% every single day.
I would agree with that. Just my short time in knowing her, I felt that too.
I was always really thrilled by that. Although when she called me at the end of the day, it was all like still kind of jazzed up and for dinner and all that kind of stuff. By the time she came home, it was different.
Right. The day was over.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sandy. So much.
She was, teaching all day and then commuting home. I think it was the commute that sucked her dry. I don't know.
Traffic, right?
Yeah. Well, I think for Sandy, I said she's genuine. You can see she's friendly, she's open, she listens. But she's a good mom. and a loving mom. And she's always there for Aaron. And I really admire her for raising her as a single mom.
Mhm. How old is she? No.
I don't know. How old is
I
Aaron?
think she's 39.
Yeah, and we have a grandson.
I think it's 39.
But I think there's not enough said for single mothers, and especially a single mom who's a lesbian. And yeah.
Yeah, and Erin made it so easy to be a lesbian mom. I mean, it was like not an issue for her at all.
No,
ever.
it isn't.
Right.
I grew up with all my friends, and when I think I became a single mom about the time she was 5 years old.
Mhm.
And so,
Yeah.
and her father lived out of state, so primarily her and I.
Mhm.
But she stayed close. She visits her dad every year, not recently, but
Mhm.
Yeah. So I think qualities, that you can't really put a particular thing like your finger on. Generosity, like Sandy's always willing to help people. She never says no. If you called her and asked her to come help you right now, she'd find,
We need a good gardener here.
I appreciate that. And so I think both of them have that quality, but she
Yeah.
particularly does.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
So what do you like best about your relationship at this point in time? What means the most to you?
I think we're peaceful.
Mhm.
We have more time together now.
Oh, I think being retired has made a huge difference.
That is good, isn't it? I agree with that.
I feel like our relationship, not that it was bad, but is better since we
Retired.
both retired now.
We're better the more we're together.
Yeah.
Yeah. What has more meaning too, because you have time to focus more on each other, even though you do other things. It's just like,
Yeah, but I
wow.
mean, there's not the stress of commuting, and I don't know, it's different.
Mhm.
So we've always been, the more time we spend together, the better we
Yeah.
are.
Mhm. Great.
Which is a good thing.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, she goes grocery shopping.
Yeah.
I know that's been the big COVID thing. We go to Trader Joe's. I mean,
Well, at first it was like I was the driver. We'd mask her up and glove her up and send her away into the
let her
store.
out.
And then she would come back and I would open up the back with my gloves and my mask on.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think spending time together, just being
Together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
for us.
It is a big thing. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's magical. I can see you have a wonderful relationship.
Well,
Yeah.
I think we've earned it.
That's right. You work at it, don't you? Right.
We're Velcroed together. That's for sure.